Max Pringle with these headlines. A federal judge in Florida has signaled that he's ready to release documents supporting the search warrant for former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence. Judge Bruce Reinhart has ordered the Justice Department to put forward proposed redactions to the affidavit. He gave prosecutors a week to submit a copy of the affidavit with proposed redactions for the information it wants to keep secret. It comes a little more than a week after the FBI seized classified and top-secret information during a search at Trump's residence last week. Prosecutors said the investigation into whether Trump illegally stored classified records is still in its early stages. The White House announced today that President Biden will host a White House summit next month aimed at combating a spate of hate-fueled violence in the U.S. Biden will host the United We Stand summit on September 15th, highlighting the corrosive effects of violence on public safety and democracy. Advocates pushed Biden to hold the event after 10 black people were killed at a Buffalo, New York supermarket in May. The summit will address a succession of hate-driven violence in cities including El Paso, Texas, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Oak Creek, Wisconsin. The man accused of attacking novelist Salman Rushdie at an upstate New York book event last week pleaded not guilty to attempted murder charges in court on Thursday. Feature Story News' Sarah Walton reports.
Hadi Matar was indicted on second-degree attempted murder and assault charges at a court in Buffalo, New York on Thursday. He's accused of stabbing the well-known author Salman Rushdie at a speaking event at the Chautauqua Institute almost a week ago. The 75-year-old underwent emergency surgery. In an interview from prison, Matar told the New York Post that Rushdie had attacked Islamic beliefs. Iranian authorities offered a $3 million award for killing the author in the 1980s after he wrote the book The Satanic Verses, which many Muslims consider to be blasphemous. Matar is being held without bail and will appear in court again on September 22nd.
That's Sarah Walton. The Kentucky Supreme Court is leaving the state's sweeping abortion ban in place pending further review. The State Court of Appeal allowed 2 abortion bans to go into effect earlier this month, almost completely outlawing the procedure in the state. On Thursday, the state Supreme Court determined abortion clinics' request for an injunction due to extraordinary cause was not met. While the highest court in the state refused to overturn the appeals court's ruling, it agreed to hear further arguments from abortion activists and State Attorney General Daniel Cameron about whether the trigger laws go into effect. Kentucky's laws do not have abortion exceptions for rape or incest. Stormy weather continues today in much of Europe, where the extreme weather has turned deadly. Feature Story News' Laura Macon-Isherwood reports.
At least 13 people have died as storms hit Central Europe. The deaths were reported in Austria, Italy and the French island of Corsica and include 3 children. Winds of more than 220 kilometres per hour have uprooted trees as weather batters the continent following heatwave and drought conditions. From Feature Story News in London, I'm Laura Macon-Isherwood.
California Governor Gavin Newsom announced Thursday a $4.7 billion plan to increase access to mental health and substance abuse services in the state for teens and young adults. Christopher Martinez reports.
Newsom's plan would spend $4.7 billion to fund things like mental health prevention and treatment services at schools, expanding early intervention and suicide prevention programs, and doubling the number of school counselors. It calls for hiring and training 40,000 new mental health workers and offering $20,000 scholarships for mental health workers who spend 2 years working in schools. Newsom describes what California is doing as unique, while also taking shots at some red states.
There's nothing like this in the United States of America. I just read about one state that used some of their stimulus money, thank you, Jim Costa, because some of this is the federal funds, to open 2 new prisons. Alabama, $400 million to open 2 new mega prisons.
The master plan is part of a response to a growing mental health crisis among young people nationwide. For Pacifica Radio News KPFA, I'm Christopher Martinez.
And I'm Max Pringle.